Hi, hello. We are literally have been like running around trying to pick up signal. So I'm here to do the live. Ken's going to pick up my laptop that has all the questions on it and my Oracle cards, and hopefully you have to see me here. Hey everybody, tell me if you're live. I'm sorry, we've just been literally zooming around the house trying to pick up signal. So hopefully that's why I recorded all the videos. So if you haven't had a chance to watch the let me get my headphones up here better, so it's better. So if you haven't had a chance to watch the my tangled headphones, if you haven't had a chance to watch the masterclass training, Jeanette's going to share the link directly to it in a second here below, so you can actually watch it. Today's session is literally just like how I run my calls in my program, formerly known as Feng Shui Mastery, but now PowerHouse. And essentially what happens is people submit the questions to me. We have a Google Doc where everyone submits the questions through me. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Heidi. Tell us who's here. Hi, Robin. I know it's Saturday afternoon, Sunday, where I put my questions. So, Carol, if I have time, I'll post it here, but you can just post it in the group, or in the event there was a link to submit it as well. But you just post it here, and I will go through. Jeanette has been trawling through them and answering questions. So I know it's Saturday afternoon for some people, Saturday evening, so I'm very delighted to have you here. Hi Robin, hi Sue, hi Orla, and I have your questions that have been sent in or submitted to me. We have light, and I'll just have to have a steady hand. Do you have the little thing onto that? That could be cool. We may have a little stand for it as well in a second. I am hopefully playing fine, so I don't know what's going on. I'm here live. Greetings from Canada. Hello. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Susan. It's all good for you. Okay, great. Hey, Adeline. Hello. Welcome. So as I was saying, this is very similar to how I run my live calls each week. And we have just arrived at this place to stay, so it's usually a little bit more coherent in terms of our connection and stuff. But anyways, we're all good, and Ken has set me up with a stand. Wow, I'm the most illuminated you've probably seen me. So, very first thing, let's get take a moment to close our eyes, and you can see the sunset behind me, the beautiful sky here in Greece. Take a nice deep breath in, close your eyes. And exhaling with a sigh, feel your connection with your feet. Activate that connection from your heart into your home, like we connected with yesterday. And giving yourself a nice big smile to your face, a smile to your heart, a smile to your womb, and a smile to your home. And we're just going to roll our shoulders back, open up our heart, and give ourselves permission to really just allow whatever insights that we need to hear to flow in. So just open to whatever wisdom, knowledge that we need, and know that you're in the right place. Yesterday we got the environment card, and I think, Ken, I am going to pick some cards after I've done the Q&As, because I know this is kind of the core session is really about answering questions. And essentially, you're the passenger, Maggie. Good. I'm glad you're not driving. And I was telling people to close their eyes. So if it's safe to do so, close your eyes. Anyways, thank you for submitting questions. And I'm going to be doing one of these every second day. So tomorrow I will be going live doing another amplification session, which will be covering the masterclass that'll go live. So we may release it tomorrow or the next day. So you'll see a post anyways. But the amplification, that will be just a live. So we'll do a live at the same time again tomorrow. And essentially, this is a great opportunity to get any questions that you have about Feng Shui, or any things you've heard about it. And that's really what I want in these sessions is, if you're wondering about something about your own house, or you've heard something about Feng Shui that makes you nervous about it, makes you think like, what the hell is this? Let us know. And just also, if you do want to submit a question privately, you've been tagged by one of our team. So Koi, or you can search for Koi, Jeanette, or Koi, Jeanette, or Kim, or Jean. You can send them a private message with your question, and that will come to me, and it will go nameless if you don't want me to name you, if you don't want your name put out. But if you post in the Facebook group, that's all good. So let's get started, because I know we have I have a good few questions that have been submitted. Thank you very much, and I love hearing this. So the first question that I have here, actually, I'll just go to the ones. Jeanette has a little spreadsheet for me as well. So Pia Purple has asked me a question. My question is, I'm about to move into a new house that my partner and me are buying. We're basically just waiting for the completed contract and the key so we can move shortly. Congratulations! What an amazing, amazing thing. Amazing, amazing new home. That's such an amazing fresh start. And what a perfect place to be right now, connecting with the energies. I am still in my old house and connected to its energy. It is a bit confusing to tap into the energy of the house, the new house, energy of the house, as it feels like a mix of both. Any advice on this? So first of all, I would certainly I don't know what you're doing with the current house. Is it like a rented home or what? But I would do that infusion of love into the current house. And then when you move into the new house, do it there. There you go. That's it. That's what I would do. And obviously, we actually have another question, which I'll kind of lead on from that. So Pia, I would start with just, the thing is, when you improve the energy of your current physical environment, every other one that you're going to tune into is going to be more magnetic and is going to be higher energy. So this is something that's really interesting, and I've seen over the years with clients. And I think in one of the videos I talk about Dawn in one of the masterclasses, but Dawn's house was a very tricky house for her and her family to be living in, and we did all the feng shui, balanced all the energies, did all the good work, put the proper remedies in. And when we did that, what happened was so fascinating that eventually she was like, actually, do you know what? I want to sell this house. So she sold that house, and she ended up attracting a house. So you'll understand this tomorrow after the masterclass tomorrow more. But she ended up attracting a much, much higher vibrational house, which is the best bit, okay? So that's a big one, okay? So that was a really big one, because literally the one that she kind of lived in, even though, and we can always balance whatever house type it is, but we ended up getting a higher energy one. So I would certainly, wherever you are right now, work with that, send gratitude, do all of the different things in each of the masterclasses for sure, do that. And then you're literally kind of rising your own the energetic vibration of your current environment. So then you move in, you'll call in that vibration for the new place. So that's number one. So Antonella asked what about renting? I'm renting at the moment, but would love to upgrade and move into my own house. What is the best approach for this? So I love this question. We've had so many people in our program join it when they're renting, because they want to manifest their new house. So this is a really great process, because if you're renting a house, again, same principle, you want to be able to call in the highest vibration new house. And a lot of people are like, oh no, I'll wait, I'm renting. So this is where there's a that needs to be demystified as well, is we think that if we have to own our house to feng shui it. You don't have to own your house to feng shui it at all, because there's no structural changes. So I'm an acupuncturist for your home. Acupuncturists don't cut your legs off or do anything damaging like that. They change the energy, they use the elements, they use metal, they put special things into different areas, and that's what they do, okay? So that's what I do. I'm an acupuncturist for the home, energy work for the house. We do the analysis and we give the specific remedies for each area, and that's really subtle, easy things to do. So that's where it's a big shift in terms of, we can do that very simply, and there's nothing structural, no big changes that need to be made with anything. And most of the time, even when it comes to people saying, oh, but what about the colors, the walls, I won't be able to paint things. 99% of the time, I don't give any painting recommendations either, or paint colors. There's a few things around colors, but I want to stick with the questions here. But you can still do it very simply, and there's no big hard things to do to get your house feng shui that's rented. And we've had many of them, and we've had many that have actually feng shuied their place and then moved into their new place, and they've got their new house feng shuied as well, which is the fun bit. So that is a great question. Thank you so much, Antonella. Okay, Sarah has a question. So is there anything we can do with feng shui to invite a child in, as in trying to have a baby? And is there anything we should look at that might be blocking this? I'm wondering, there might be already something blocking it on top of medical difficulties, but maybe there's something in my environment or home that's stopping this big dream that might be in front of me. I just don't know. This is a great question. Now, there are So there's different layers of feng shui, okay? So there's many different layers. And first of all, there's on the surface layer. So for example, tomorrow we're going to talk about, in the masterclass, you're going to learn about the different house personalities. Now, the house personality, Sarah, could be the thing that's blocking it. So that could be causing the reason that it's not allowing it to flow in. Now, that's not a visible thing, but what happens is the things that are not coming to us in our life may be blocked by the energetics. So energetically, that could be part of it. And there's also the new beginnings area. So that's the east, that's the west part of your home. So that could be, and also you're, setting up your space. Like, is there space for a baby? Like when I called in, Ken into my life, I made space for him in my bedroom, in my life, in all aspects. So my home was ready to receive love into my life. And we've had feng shui weddings. We've had feng shui babies. We've had several feng shui babies. We've had several feng shui weddings. I think last year there was 7 weddings. So they're calling in what it is. So there is a gap, and then we make space for it. So that will be my invitation, and you'll learn more in the 3rd masterclass. So on the 3rd masterclass, I will talk more about the different aspects in different areas as well. So you'll learn more about that. Antonella, I answered your question earlier, so you'll have to come back to the beginning and listen to it. So Sarah, definitely there could be, and their new beginnings area is all about fertility. And if the energy of that is not right, and we'll talk about the different specific energies in the 3rd masterclass, that could be blocking it as well. And I have actually gone into houses where I've literally run the numbers and the calculations and the lineup of the energy, and even the bedroom, not necessarily even the new beginnings area, could be not good for like conceiving energetically. And we balance that like based on what people look for in calling in, what they want to call in their life. So Sarah, in terms of like visibly around your house, it may not be a visible thing. It could be like, I would definitely invite you to have like pictures, like have, if you want to call in love, I'm like, bring in pictures of couples. If you want to call in a baby, bring in pictures, like have a vision board, make sure there's pictures of pregnant women or like images of things being birthed or grown. And also a good one is pomegranates, like having some pomegranates, like the image of pomegranates, because there's lots of seeds and they're very fertile, and even like nuts and seeds and things like that are seeds. So that would be good. I did that to my bedroom May of last year. I met the love of my life this day last year. Oh my God, congratulations, Carol. And this is the thing, like creating and calling in love is like how I actually got, I got into feng shui when I was 15, but feng shuiing my home was actually the thing that I called in love. And then I met Ken, and he had feng shuied his bedroom as well. When I got to his house, which is now our house, I walked on, I'm like, he's feng shuied this place. So it's quite fun. So it is. So let me go to the next question here, because I do want to. So this is a good one. June has asked a question. I have a street light straight across from my front door. I've read this is unlucky. It has a fire element. Okay, so street lights opposite your front door, you can't move it. So this is another thing you can't physically change it. So it's not you're not doomed, basically. Don't look at your house and go, I can't feng shui it because that street light is there. Like, you definitely can work on so many different aspects of the feng shui to balance that. Like, that's not going to be the one thing that's like jinxing things not happening in your life, the street light. So it's not. And obviously, like outside your front door straight away, it's not ideal, but it's not the worst thing ever. And actually, streetlights are often like curved and circular, so they're not like pointy. So that's not a bad thing, anyways. So that's one. That's there. June. So yeah, don't worry about it. There's lots more other things that you can do in the feng shui. Watch the masterclasses and implement from there. And actually, just Coy and Jeanette, can you tag the people whose questions we've answered to let them know, like, the question is answered that they've submitted. Okay, Neve, my question is our rented house. We have 2 electricity poles going diagonally in front of our house. Okay, this is all about electricity poles and poles with with yellow warning signs. One pole sits inside our garden beside the hedge, and the electric line finishes on this pole. The wires go down the pole onto the ground. Another question is having a long... Okay, so the first one is electrical poles. That is actually beyond the scope of Feng Shui. That is more, I am a shaman and geomancer, and I work with energy and geopathic stress and all of that. And that is actually what I would do with people when I work with them one-to-one. It's kind of beyond, it's not actually a Feng Shui thing, basically. Electrical poles around, like they're there. They may create AMFs and stuff like that, but it's kind of beyond the scope of this, what I'm talking about with Feng Shui today. But people do hire me to work on that, and it's something I have done to help clear and make sure that it's not impacting the energetics of the house. Okay, so it's not great, not ideal, but it's not a Feng Shui thing. Basically, it's an energetic. It's beyond it. It's kind of like there's many layers to Feng Shui, and then there's the next level, which is that's beyond that. That's like the next level, which I do work with. But it's not part of this. So definitely it's not impacting your Feng Shui, basically. That's one thing. Another question is about having a long, thin corridor in our house. How to manage a space like that. So the thing is, some houses have teeny weeny corridors, some have big corridors, some have like no corridors, you know, like it's not about managing the space. And actually when we work with people with Feng Shui, you send in all your information, you send it all, we have a special software, you send everything in, and we basically mark up your plans and mark everything. So oftentimes, like something like a corridor, we just ignore the fact there are walls. Basically, it's every area representative part of life. You'll learn more about the third masterclass, but it's not about the thin corridors or the size of a room, or where, you know, they're not really. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not a bad way of impact in your Feng Shui. You could possibly, if you wanted to kind of expand it, you could put like a mirror in it to make it feel more expansive if you wanted. Like make sure it has bright lights to keep it illuminated. But again, not like a major thing to impact. I have so many questions, I don't even know where to start. Or what should I do first to make the energy home supportive and abundant? Okay, Mary, there's 3 parts. Masterclass series, and that's what you start with. So today, in the very first one, if you haven't watched that one is all about that one's all about like the energy of your house. Like do the meditation I did yesterday with everyone, connecting to that energy, and then look at the first thing is starting at the front door. So I've seen some people. Robin has already cleaned her front door. I know that Orla has. Like, well done everyone, and thank you everyone for submitting your questions. I really appreciate that. So, you know, that's actually ultimately what Feng Shui does. So yesterday I explained the meaning of Feng Shui, and it's good for healthy and abundant, healthy, wealthy homes. Basically, that's what Feng Shui creates. So that's that question. You know, so basically you've got 3 parts of videos. You're going to learn more. And as I do in my PowerHouse program, each week I do a live kind of just like this, and people sent me the questions based on the themes, and also post their photos. So in this aspect, we won't look at photos, because most of the time when I'm working at people's homes, I know their floor plans, and I'm talking about them specifically when I'm looking at their rooms. So but that's it. Okay, so Laura's question. Thank you, Mary, for your question. Laura's question. I live in a semi-detached house, always peaceful until the new neighbours moved in, who are much noisier. They swear, and generally the energy of our home has taken a nosedive. I heard you talk about putting a cactus between you and your neighbour, but how do I do this in a semi-detached? Okay, so what I would say to you, this we want to move because of this, but we haven't found the right places. Okay, so there's a few steps on this one. Let me just start with the first one. Okay, so you're after hearing what I would say if it was like a detached house. So if the people lived between. So if it's a semi-detached house, though, do you not have, and personally, Laura, first of all, if it's a semi-detached house, you don't put the cactus, you put the cactus between the houses, but do you have a garden? Like, can you put it out in the back garden between the 2 houses, like just there? If you have a garden, you could use that. That would work, probably. And basically, if you have noisy neighbours or neighbours that are not the most auspicious, we had one client whose neighbours were growing like had a cannabis farm in their back garden. So they were like, oh, you know what then? So they put the cactus in and they moved. So so a small cactus. Now, so that you don't have cactus in your house. So if it is between the 2 houses, like I would say, print a picture of a cactus and even just get the picture of the cactus and like face it to the wall towards them. Or you could get a small mirror and face it towards them to reflect them away. That would be one thing, Laura. We want to move house because we haven't found the right place yet. So maybe you, if you want to move house, again, just, try that first. Like, try this picture of the cactus, and actually the cactus has to go outside, and then also the mirror. We want to move. Okay, so any kitchen tips? So kitchen, like, you've hidden your knives already. I'm not enjoying cooking anymore due to space limitation and noise from next door. So again, the noise from next door and all of that, you have the insights of what I would recommend with that. And then with the kitchen, like, kitchen is linked to prosperity. Even if it's not your prosperity area, it is linked to prosperity. So what do I mean by that? Essentially, that the kitchen, the cooker, is the, oh man, my battery's going to die. Ken, my battery's at 10%, so I need to put a charger on this somehow. So we're in a, we weren't expecting to use this phone. The little white power bank even, Ken. So first of all, the kitchen, the prosperity, the stove. Hopefully you can still hear me. I've taken the microphone out. The stove or the cooker is where you create from, where you cook for. It's again that kind of connected to that harvest energy. It's where you create and feed yourself, and it's a very place that's linked to abundance. So keep your kitchen counters nice and clear, and definitely keep your stove working. Very important that it's working. So Adelina, I'm living in a house I bought 32. Okay, there's a lot more questions. Okay. I'm living in a house I bought 32 years ago. After about 10 years, I met a man I thought I would marry, and we lived there together. Turns out he was very manipulative and lied about who he was. I rented the house out for 2 years while I rebuilt my life. I didn't want to sell it because the house is important to me. Since returning, I've been on my own. I've done a lot of renovations and purging, especially of things that remind me of him. I want to manifest my soulmate. So first of all, there's definitely some connection probably with the toxicity of that relationship that was there before. So that's one thing. So I would definitely recommend like doing a space clearing or something like that would be really important. And then you've purged everything that reminds him, and then you want to set it up. As I said, make space for that person in your life, clear out your space in your wardrobe. And maybe I'll do a live around love, because there's a few people who are asking for that, but for sure, start to set the intention of like making space for this person in your life. So imagery is really important. I talk about making your house become a vision board for what you want for your life. So that's important as well, like making your home become a vision board for what it is that you want. So we talked with Sarah about wanting to call a baby. Like, have you got pictures of like couples in your house? That's a really big one, and that could make a really big difference. And then making sure you're space in your wardrobe, and that you've got space, and that it's set up for someone else in your house to be there with you. Let me see. I'm renting at the moment. Oh yeah, so I've answered Antonella's question already. Mary, I have a front porch with a door to the side. The main glass door to my home is straight into the hall, which is my front door. The outside porch door or the glass door to my hallway. So the front door, actually, because I think the front door is the first door. That's always going to be the front door. It's the first door. So that's your question, Mary. Thanks for your question, Mary. Lucy. Okay, so Lucy sent loads of questions, but actually, Lucy, can I leave these for Feng Shui Mastery questions? Because I'm just watching the time, and I'll happily answer them in Feng Shui Mastery, because I feel like they're just they'll confuse people here, and they're not really relevant to where we are, but I'm happy to answer them. But Lucy is part of our Feng Shui program, and Ken's moving me to get me plugged in so I can hopefully we'll have some power in a second. I'll be tuned into some power. So let me see. Okay, so Lucy, I'll do those questions. Yeah, that's fine. The light has just changed a bit. This is the funniest session ever today. Moving around the place. So, Lucy, I will answer your questions in our Feng Shui Mastery, if that's okay, because I just want them to, just keep everyone on the one page. Okay, Carol. Carol's question. There is financial difficulties with my boyfriend's family business. He has applied for a bank mortgage so his and his mom can keep the house we live in. Also, there's properties waiting to sell, which all of which pays off the banks. What can I do to the house to help bring money his way? So, Carol, there's 2 sets of videos. The very first video is the second video tomorrow. We're going to be talking about what I feel is going to be though. It's not that they're long and complicated, Lucy. It's just that I just feel like for everyone here, it'll be like, it's like a different level. For everyone who's in the Feng Shui program, I'll answer it and everyone will understand. But this will be just like, what? So so you're going to learn a lot tomorrow, Carol, on the call, on the masterclass that releases, the second one, and the third day you're going to learn even more actual steps you can take. So I'm just in terms of time wise and answering everyone's questions, that's all going to be covered, and I'm going to do Q&A sessions after both of those as well, and amplification sessions. So just keep tuning in, basically. Okay. But Barbara, I'm looking to buy a house in Ireland. Wow, congratulations. What's the most important thing I need to know if this house is for me? So for me, when it comes to attracting a house in the type of house you want, I honestly don't recommend limiting yourself to Feng Shui guidelines, to be totally honest. For me, I would prefer you to write the list of your dream house and whatever is on your house for you. Go find that, or go find 2 or 3 of them. And then what we do is we work with people to be like, this is the best house. This is the best one for you personally, based on your own personal energy, based on what's going on around it. These are the things you'll need to do to balance it. So for me, what I would do if I was you, and what I do, is go write my list of what I want. And even just write on it that it's easy to Feng Shui and it's good Feng Shui. So you're kind of putting that out already. And then find what's your dream. Because I feel like if you bought your house based on, it fits all the Feng Shui things, but it's not really my thing. Like, we can change the energy of the houses. Like, we can do that. That's totally possible. And that's what we do. 99.9% of our clients have an existing house, like they live in their home, and we do that afterwards. So that, hopefully that makes sense for you. Like, we can try and restrict ourselves with like, these are the big things, but actually for me, I'd prefer you to have the house that you love, or even just narrow it down to 2 or 3, and then that's where I love helping that, because then I'm like, this one, and why is that one, and figuring out. But from there, just pick what you love. That's Barbara. Teresa, what do you do when you work and sleep in the same room? Thank you for this question. I actually covered this exact question the other day with Danielle in our Feng Shui program live call, when she shared her bedroom. And to be honest, what's most important for working and living, and if you're sleeping and working in the same room, is boundaries. And this is something that is like takes practice. First of all, if you're it's a clear boundaries. So the very first thing I would say to you is, if you have to work in the room that is your bedroom at nighttime, pack everything to do at work away, or cover it, and even during the day. Like, I have a client who has, like, honestly, it's like tiny studio apartment in New York, and it's just been amazing actually to watch her whole business completely flourish since we Feng Shui'd her space. But what's so fascinating is that she sleeps in the room that turns into her living room and office. And what she does at nighttime, she basically, like, in the late afternoon, she turns her office into a beautiful bedroom that has beautiful cushions and makes it beautiful. And then at night, and then but nothing work visible. So that's what my recommendation is that, like, you make sure that there's just no work stuff there, because you're basically sleeping with your business. And especially if you want to call in love, not a good idea. So cover it at nighttime. And then again, during the day, maybe you have like a setup in your bedroom that you can separate it. Like, so for example, with Danielle's, just because I can visually see her bed was here, and over here she had her desk. And I said to her, maybe at nighttime she could put a screen up so that you couldn't see her desk, like when she's in bed, or put a screen on her desk so that when she's lying in bed, she's just seeing a screen and not like her desk and the files. But it was really well done. Then Karen, how do I bring in a partner? Okay, I've kind of talked a little bit about that one already, Karen. Like set up your space, clear out some space in your bedroom. Images is really good. Interesting. I'm in a terrace and I have electrical TV wires running across the front of the house, the door, possibly in. It's an external, Teresa. Sorry, I'll read it out so people can see it. I am in a terrace and I have an electrical cord, could be TV wires running across the front of the house over the door. Is that possibly impacting the energy of my property also? Teresa, again, it's not a feng shui, it's not impacting the feng shui. Okay, it's not impacting the feng shui, so it's not. But like if I was working with someone one-to-one, I would work on the energy of it, I would check and see energetically, but I can't tell you like yes or no, because it depends. Every cord and cable is different, there's different energies going off it. What do I do if my health area is in a closet? It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Like some people are like, oh, this is like, so we'll talk about the different areas in the third masterclass, but it's not the end of the world, basically. You know, just keep it clear. Don't have it all clogged up. Make sure it's organized. Make sure the things that you want are in there that you love, like no big holes in them, or just it's very logical. It's like thinking about health area. Like does it feel healthy? Is it clear? Is there, if it's filled with junk, it's not good. I remember having a client actually, and when we did like an undercover feng shui. So one of my clients hired me, we worked on her house, and then we got to she hired me to work on her parents' house. So this is years ago when I used to do them in person. Anyways, her parents were on holidays and she got me to feng shui because her dad hadn't been well. So we got to the house and we walked around and I was like, God, this is great, blah, blah, blah. We were just mapping it all out and everything. And then she opened the one room and she's like, welcome to the junk room. And it was just like filled with stuff that was so ancient and like, just like nothing moved. She was like, oh, this is my brother's stuff for like 20 years all here. And her dad had been really sick. So what I was just like, right, this is your first task, is like sort this area out. And literally they worked on that one area, and she messaged me and she's like, my dad just went and played 18 holes of golf for the first time in 2 years. And the only thing we've done so far is do that one area. So this stuff is so powerful, really, really powerful. Eileen, I'm in a job that causes me great stress. How can I manifest my dream job? So, first of all, it's that clarity with what your dream job is. And that's why we did the new moon setting intention. Maybe hopefully you set your intentions. And if you haven't, go back and do that first session we did. The second one is about like stepping in and tuning into it. And actually, Karen O'Connor, I don't know if she's on, but Karen O'Connor in our Feng Shui program, now newly named PowerHouse, she literally manifested a brand new job the other day. And she was like, I want a job that's higher paying, what did she say in the message to us all? It was like, I wanted a job that was less hours, higher paying, that suited with my kids' work. And someone rang her up and basically offered her a job that she didn't even know existed. She went for the interview and got it. So this is part of it. It's just like making the space for what it is we want. There is our career area, the north, but like it's you'll learn about the three areas, and there's a few things that could be blocking it. Again, if you have loads of stuff from your career or in your current work in your home, like I would start clearing it out. I'd start decluttering it. I would start making space for a new job, like looking for new jobs. Like, you have to start taking the action steps. And what happens is when we work with the energy of the house, it supports that alignment to call it in. But definitely intention setting is a huge part of it. And then I always share this in like every group that I have, but when I was literally didn't know what I was ever going to do in my life, like no idea. I'd like moved to India, quit my good job, written off my BMW, like left my sea view apartment, like everything, like got rid of all my clothes, moved to India, and I was training to a yoga teacher, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do in my life. Like I've no idea. Basically just like around India learning all these different modalities, and I had this mantra that I used, and it was like, I work at a job I truly enjoy doing, working with people I love who love me, expressing my creative talents every day. And I soon after I moved back to Ireland and was like getting really well paid for it. So because that was like not on it, but it's like, what is the intentions you're setting, and then your house is listening, and it will support you as you start to make the adjustments around your home. So for example, on the third masterclass you'll learn more about like the prosperity stuff. So you can work on that, and that will certainly help. And we don't go into this like every area, because obviously I will be here for a month, and I actually have a program that teaches all of that. So that's Eileen Kim. The dishwasher hasn't been working in my condo, but my tenants have been okay with it. Due to COVID, I haven't gotten a handyman to replace it yet. Is this bad or draining the energy from my finances? Anything that's broken isn't good, but like as long as you're aware of it and it's a temporary measure, you know, like as long as you're aware of it and it's just a temporary measure, like that's the main thing, you know. So I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's impacting my finances. Leaks, dripping taps are affecting your finances, but that I wouldn't say is affecting, you know, it's like, you know, it's going to be done. So I wouldn't be, you know, this is where we can look at some things that we hear about Feng Shui and we're like, oh my God, I'm doomed. You're not. It's like, it's part of the, like, just an awareness now. And then, you know, you don't know what you don't know until you do know. And then you do know. And then you're like, okay. And that's going to be a big thing of the second masterclass, is like, when you know this stuff, you're like, oh, no wonder this is happening. This is why I'm still not like propelled forward as much as I can be. Dervla, we are converting a small office to walk-in wardrobe, which is career area. What would you recommend? I don't know what you mean. Like, I do have a guide on my website, how to feng shui your office. So that's actually, I would start with that. Anyone who wants to do stuff with office space, just go to patricialoan.com. There's a link there that's like feng shui your office, or a feng shui your office, and that'll give you all the stuff to do with your office. You know, like good chair, great desk, the making sure that you're sitting, you can see the door. So all of that's covered in that guide for offices. Okay, I said I'd be 30 minutes. I am just over 40 now, and I want to do cards. So we have got one more question here. I think that's them all. Are cats good feng shui? All animals are good feng shui. Feng shui is like cats, dogs. You know, dogs like move the energy. Cats move the energy. They're positive. Yeah, they're great feng shui. Absolutely great feng shui. That's all the questions from Jeanette. Let me see if I have any more on this. Sarah, Antonella, Nana. Oh yes. So Nano asked a question, and she said, "You're looking amazing. Thank you very much." How can you have a house? How can you have your house supporting you taking more risks and having less fear? Okay, so this is essentially what happens is that if your house, there's a two-pronged approach. So first of all, there's like the internal stuff, and then there's the external. So if your house is blocked energetically, it's then mirroring back into your internal. So what I would say to you is that, like, one of the things I would say is, you know, start clearing the energy. You know, do a space clearing. That will be really good. And then what happens when we work with the feng shui is this whole idea of rebalancing the energy. And we're not working with like moving the table. Like, honestly, I don't care where your couch is. Genuinely, I don't care. It's 99.9% of the time the only place it's going to be normally fine, that you can actually place it. So it's about being really realistic and be like, what we're working with is the invisible, so you can't see it. And just like when the acupuncturist comes and does this, checks your chi, checks your energy, and then she's like, okay, and then she's going to put the needles in the different places, and that gets things moving. And when you have that clarity about what you want and the intentions, it's lining up the elemental. So we're literally bringing our house into an energetic balance. So imagine standing in nature. Like, you're standing out in nature and you're beside the trees or in the forest. This light is like a disco, Ken. I don't know what's going on with it. It's like a disco light. So imagine you're in nature by the ocean, or you're by a tree, and you just see that perfect rhythm of it just going up and down, and it's like the perfect rhythm. And that's essentially what we want our house to be in that perfect energetic like space where it's balanced. And if it's not balanced, it's going to stunt things. It's going to cause friction. It's going to cause issues, things happening, and that's how it works. It's like, once your house is in alignment, and you know, my background was working with people one-to-one, clearing trauma, clearing ancestral stuff, like working with them to like heal and step into their power more. And that's what my journey was. I was working with people that through sound healing, Reiki, kinesiology, lots of different tools. And it was amazing. But the thing is, doing that inner work, if you go home to a house that has the old energy, is this old vibration, like, so you're literally doing this, your energy is like do, 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 and the house is staying here, and then you go back to stay in the house, and like, come back here. So that's what we're doing. And basically any of the things, so basically everything that you're going to learn on these lives, doing in the master classes, is going to help you move up, okay? Is going to help you want to move up energetically. So that's the thing, you know, it's that sense of like, this is what we're doing. So we're bringing up, so every single thing that we do or you talk about, like whether it's like expressing gratitude, meditating, space clearing, following the steps from any of these sessions, you know, that's going to help raise that vibration. And that will bring, when you do that, when we work with our Feng Shui on the deeper level, as we do in PowerHouse Feng Shui, we bring it all up, and then it's like this connection that goes up together. So it's like whoosh. So there'll be blocks to what it is that you want to see unfold, because there isn't that sense of, number one, clarity, and number two, the space is not allowing that space to do it. So we're coming to the end of our session. I wanted to pull a card. So I did. Cat's Feng Shui. So that, I think that quote, I work at a job I truly enjoy doing, working with people I love, who love me, expressing my creative talents every day. It's amazing. Okay, well, Ken has brought like a few decks of cards, so I'm going to pull the 2 cards out. Barbara, how do you purge old energy from a house? So there's many different ways. You can do a space clearing, which is one aspect, and maybe I'll do something on that later on in the week. But also like, that's what we do. That's what the Feng Shui does, basically, essentially. It literally changes the vibration. So there's kind of like a level of thickness of energy, basically. So there is, in terms of energy. So, you know, we'll do a space clearing will help clear just kind of the residual stuff that's in here. But if it's, you know, if there's been a divorce or negative things happening in a house, like a space clearing is not going to change that. It's not going to take that energy away. It'll clear the arguments and the stuff that happened in it, how do I call it? It's like almost like in the DNA. That's what we're doing. We're changing that. It'll help. Yeah, burning sage will help clear a layer of it. That's one aspect of it, but there's deeper of it as well. So I'll definitely talk about doing a space clearing. So I will. My husband and daughter are fighting a lot. Can Feng Shui help? Yes. Actually, I had a client hire me basically because her kids are fighting all the time. I went from 100% fighting to 10%. So just follow along with everything we're doing. And yeah, there was a death in your house. So you'll need more than sage, I think, to clear that one. A little bit more than that. Well, do the sage and see how it feels, and tune in, like, you know, see what feels, you know, every house is unique, to be honest. And that feels like, to be like, my instant reaction is like, there's more than just a sage. We'll work with that one. So let's do a little reading before we go. So Vanessa, okay. Let's see if he's shining a little light in it. Oh wow, this is interesting. I see one more before I go. Ken started laughing at me yesterday. This is so funny. Time to go. Obviously, it's time to be finished up. Oh, so funny. So the first one that we got is Vanessa, and this card is saying, and this actually really is mirroring what I was trying to say earlier about basically the perfect alignment. So yesterday we did the balance of that connection with heaven and earth, and our meditations, we've done this connection with heaven and earth, and essentially bringing heaven down to earth. And what we want to do is make our homes energetically aligned with the frequency of the earth, like nature, and that connects us then with our alignment for our soul's purpose, which brings us into, so Eileen, into your job, into calling in the one, into calling in the baby. Well, like, if you know that you can dream, if you can dream it, you can conceive it, but there's something externally blocking it, and this is when you bring that alignment with your vision and your home all into one place. It calls it all in and drops it down. So that's what this card is saying, is basically like what's going to bring you closer is that aspect of it. And then there's this sense of compassion. So tomorrow when you watch the masterclass, there can be issues like, Barbara could be going through like, someone died in my house. Like, don't worry about it. And the thing is, you found me for a reason. There's a reason you're here. Like, there's no accident. The card yesterday, like your environment, like change your environment. This is it. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. And there's a part of just compassion about you, about where you are energetically now, and about your house, and trusting that everything is working out. There's no accidents. I got my first book about Feng Shui when I was 15. When I met Ken, he was into Feng Shui. Like, I have had amazing mentors and teachers and continue to grow and expand, and this work blows my mind. But it's like all came at the perfect time. All came at the perfect time. I wasn't ready for it earlier. Like, if I tried to continue it as a 16-year-old, like, where would it have got me? I don't think so. Like that was not my path. But it's just that sense of just compassion for where you are right now, and letting go of any frustration of like, oh, my house is this, or my kids are fighting all the time. It's like there's help there, and you're just watching for the points for it. And this card then kind of really backs it up and says, look past the illusion of what's going on right now, look past of what's going on right now, and just know that there's a divine order. And if you've been asking for help, if you're looking for something, just notice everything that's showing up. Pay attention to what's on your path. And so Martina, I have all different decks of cards. I just kind of mix them and put them all in together. There's angel cards, goddess cards, labyrinth cards, oracle cards, archangel Michael cards, so mixture of them all. And past life. Okay, so this card, what's this one trying to say to us? Okay, so this card is just giving us activation. So Isis is a very powerful goddess, and she's really activating us to step into our power and recognize that we're all on a, if you're being called to Feng Shui, it's partially a spiritual. This is like part of an activation for a spiritual path, and just recognizing that we have to let go of things to be able to move forward. So, people asked about making, children money, health, careers. We have to make space. We have to let go. Something has to die. So, that's part of these lives for me, is to kind of demystify and make it not so scary, because we have to be able to allow what it is that allow what we want in. We have to make space for it. But some parts of us and beliefs and ways of being and blocks and fears have to be released first before we allow in the new. And this is saying that see the beauty within each sunset in your life, and know that the sun will always rise again tomorrow. That endings are merely a start of a new beginning. Okay, that's the one there. That's the last one that came up. And then we had Isis. She was an activation to say, like, go, there we go. Divine order, everything is just working out and just trusting it. And this one was that compassion card about where you are, and don't be beating yourself up. It's like perfect. Where you are is perfectly now. Shocking, bad at typing. Lucy, I can't believe it. It's okay. I know Lucy. She's in lots of my programs. But I don't think I'm being really mean to her. Like, I'm not answering your question, Lucy. I'm not this. Okay, so that's Vanessa, and this is about just recognizing about the alignment and how it truly is bringing us on kind of more deeper on our alignment with our true divine purpose, and that's really the bliss part of this journey with Feng Shui. Thank you everybody for your questions. Thank you everyone for sharing your intentions. I went through so many of them today and I was like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. And congratulations. I just have to share with you, because I made a little mistake and I'm very sorry. I just realized it this minute, but I was meant to announce the winner. You've never been her. Hi Leslie, I'm not picking individual cards for everyone. It was just a reading for everyone. So if you just listen to those, they're also the ones for you. So I love you, Patricia. Everything good, thank you. Hi Orla, thank you. Have a great night. I will. I was meant to say I was meant to pick the winner of the prize for doing the 2 days of the different homeworks. So I will do it tomorrow. I'm very sorry. So I've never think you were being mean. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Lucy. So I will do it tomorrow. I'm very sorry. I actually didn't give Jeanette the cue of like, can you set them all up? Because she's been tracking everyone who's done your intentions. So I'm going to give you extra time. If you haven't seen the first and second of the 2 sessions, you can put into under the homework thread and pop them in, and there is a prize for tomorrow. And also for anyone who showed up here today, do you know what? If you can just say that you are here, like just put your name in, say hello. Just say hello if you want to be entered in, because I did say that anyone who shows up live tonight, because I know it's Saturday, who shows up live today, I was going to give a $50 Amazon or a $50 Amazon voucher for anyone. So if you would be in for that, pop your name in here, and if you're listening, and that will go until anyone who's listening on the replay, you can be entered in as well until what time? What date? Tomorrow? Until before tomorrow. So you just made it tonight. Oh, perfect, Vanessa. Absolutely perfect. That's brilliant. So pop it in there. I was at your Dublin, and this is the next best thing. Ah, thank you. Dublin was amazing, amazing, amazing. So thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday wherever you're in the world. I'm going to go inside, and Ken's going to laugh at like, oh yeah, you're going to do 30 minutes. I'm a bit of a chatterbox, so I can go on. In the meantime, I will see you all tomorrow at, thank you, Anya. Hi, Christine. It's so nice. Loads of our Feng Shui people are here too. There was something else I was going to say. See you tomorrow. If you have any questions for the Q&A session, you can, if you have any questions for the Q&A sessions, you can DM your person if it's a private one that you don't want your name called out. If it's a one that if you're okay, you can post it under the Q&A post tomorrow, and I'll see you all then. Bye. Love you loads. Have a great day.